They say the Amarok does not howl at the moon. The moon hisses when the Amarok passes. Under a vault of ice and light, where the world narrows to wind and bone, a single shadow moves that is larger than legend and colder than fear itself. Long before traders and ships cut paths across the Arctic, the elders spoke of a creature birthed between sky and sea. Some told it was born of the moon's hunger, a thing the moon spat out to chase the unwary. Others claimed it was the Great Spirit's punishment for those who turned their backs on the tribe. Shamans would whisper that when the world froze over and hunters forgot to give thanks, the Amarok rose from the snow, not a mere animal, but a spirit given wolf's teeth and the patience of glaciers. In those tellings, its birth was a warning. Isolation in the far north is a peril no man should court, and there are forces that keep the fragile rules of survival. To picture the Amarok is to imagine the mountain given teeth. It is vast, larger than any pack wolf, sometimes as tall as a man at the shoulder, sometimes taller. Its pelt a living white or a soot black that drinks the night. Its breath scours the air with frost. Its eyes glint like trapped stars. It walks alone, each tread a silence that makes the snow hold its breath. It does not hunt for meat in the way wolves do. It takes those who disrespect the boundaries of the land, lone travelers, hunters who boast, those who ignore the old rights. Stories give it other powers. The ability to melt into a drift and reappear at the far edge of the horizon, to call down blizzards with a low growl, to wear the aurora like a collar. And yet, even myth balances power with rule. In many tellings, the Amarok never chases the chorus of a pack. It seeks the single soul. One tale passed around the fire is of the boastful hunter who claimed he could bring seals from open water with a blink. He went out alone beneath a sky the color of cold iron and never returned. The next spring, the village found his sled upturned and his snow goggles filled with frost, and in the snow the marks were enormous, paw prints like hollowed bowls. The shaman said the Amarok had come not for food, but for lesson. Another story tells of a grieving mother who left her crying child outside to lessen the burden of hunger. The child vanished, but in the morning there were 2 lines of paw prints leading away, a small print, and beside it, a larger print of the Amarok. Some say the child lived as the Amarok's companion, carried through winters to learn the language of animals. Others say the child became part of the wolf's packless company, taught by a spirit how to walk between worlds. A third tale speaks of a lone traveler who, snow-blinded and near death, heard a deep exhale and saw a dark outline bend low. The Amarok did not take him. Instead, it nudged his hat back over his ears and vanished. In those versions, the beast is a judge, not pure demon, an enforcer of laws older than hunger. Beneath these stories lies a deeper knot. The Amarok is the myth of the Arctic's loneliness and its limits. It is the personification of isolation, the fear that walking alone through that white vastness is to step outside the covenant of community. Psychologically, it embodies the terror of being cut off, of facing the void with no witness. Socially, it upholds the necessity of cooperation in a land that will not forgive pride. Yet, there are darker mirrors. For some, it is a symbol of necessary endings, the force that takes those too far gone to be saved. For others, it is guardian, a creature that separates what must be kept from what must be released, a liminal presence between life and the long sleep under ice. Today, the Amarok still moves through carvings and stories. Inuit artists etch its elongated shadow into bone and ivory. Elders tell of it at community gatherings when the nights are long. In towns along the Arctic, the name surfaces in songs, in children's books, in tattoos that look like a winter scar. Beyond the north, the Amarok has slipped into happenstance pop culture, invoked in novels and on album covers, christening trucks and games with a name that carries cold dignity. But in its homeland, it remains more than a mascot. When a polar night is especially black, When a single set of prints is seen across a frozen lagoon, the old hush returns, and people remember the rules. Travel with others, keep your fires tended, and never forget to give thanks for what the land offers. So when you stand where the air is thin and the stars are sharp as bone, listen. If the wind shapes itself into a low, slow breath and the moon's face seems to draw back, know that you are in the Amarok's country, a place where silence is watchful, and a single shadow can hold the weight of an entire people's warnings and wonders.